Namaste and heartiest welcome to you all in this special meeting of Guru Purnima Mahotsav. श्री महावतार बाबा जी और गुरुमंडल के सारे गुरुओं की कृपा अपने पर बरसते रहती है और आज का दिन है खास उनको अपना नमन अपने वंदन सारे अर्पण करने का दिन है और उनके आशीर्वादों को पाने का दिन है. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट द मीटिंग with the prayers. Guru Kripa hi kevalam. Without the blessings and grace of the masters, not even a single moment can go. The joy that we experience in every moment is just because of the grace of the masters. So let us invite their grace with our Guru Vandana. We will chant Om 3 times. Take a deep, relaxed breath. We offer the garland of our Guru Vandana prayers at the lotus feet of masters and seek their blessings. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Every year for Guru Purnima we are in Palampur, so missing the Gurudev's presence, physical presence, but his blessings are always there. So seeking his blessings, seeking blessings of Bade Babaji, Sri Mahavatar Babaji, seeking blessings of both the masters, let us start the meeting. Every year there is, when we are in Palampur, it's all, everybody enthusiastically decorating the ashram, arranging for all the programs, all that is going on. Now we all are here online meeting and creating the same atmosphere because it's their grace because of which everything is going on and they are wanting us this year to celebrate this way. So wonderful. Ishwar Ichha Balesi, Guru Ichha Baliyasi. So as per their wish, let us start our program today. When we say Guru, we all know the meaning of Guru. We all are seekers. None of you are the newcomers here. All are walking the spiritual path. The meaning of Gu means darkness, Ru means dispeller of that. So what is this darkness? This darkness is of ignorance. This darkness is because of which we have problems, because we don't have clarity. We have karma mala. We've seen in Kashmir Shaivism, we have these three malas: karma mala, maya mala, and anava mala. These malas make us think that we are limited beings. We are loaded with so much of karmas. How can we enjoy life? Guru's first light comes and it shows that this is how life can be enjoyed. And they just lift us up, Why do we like to pray a master in the body form? Because it's very difficult initially to imagine just the light and pray to the light. So we want some form. When we say Guru and see some form, it becomes easier to connect to. Thousands of thoughts are there. From that, when we want to come to 1 million minus one thoughts, so when we imagine a form, initially it becomes easier. But the real masters even remove that physical form and lift us into the light of awareness, and they show what the real nature is. ये है गुरुओं की महिमा। वो कभी भी किसी को भी अपने ऊपर डिपेंडेंट रखना नहीं चाहते हैं, जो सही गुरु रहते हो। उनको यही चाहिए रहता है कि जो स्वस्वरूप है, वट एवर इज़ योर रियल नेचर, दैट इज़ द प्योर लाइट, यू मस्ट realize that real nature of yours, and they are the real masters. So blessed to have such masters in life. So now the prayer which describes what are the qualities of the real master. It's a beautiful, in our scriptures we have beautiful prayers. So one of the prayers now, uh, Vinayak is going to sing for us. So I invite Vinayak to sing the prayers of Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim. You all must have heard this prayer. So we have this prayer of Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim. So this prayer tells about what are the qualities. Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam. All these words, every word describes what are the qualities because of which we get attracted to the master, and master puts us into that state when we go nearer to the master, in the physical presence of the master. When we go, sometimes master even appears, even if he has left the body, he appears in bone and flesh. If the disciple is so sincere, and if the urge is so intense from inside to meet the master, then the master even appears in flesh and bone. That's the blessing and grace of the masters. Let us now listen this shloka from Vinayak.
Yeah. Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलम् सर्वधी साक्षीभूतम् भावातीतम् त्रिगुणारहितं सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सद्गुरुं तं नमामि.
Thank you, Vinayak. And that to have such master in life is a real blessing, which shows you the real path, which always sees to it They use all the possible things, sama, dama, danda, bheda, whatever is required. They'll be using all the tools onto the disciples, but they will see to it that the disciple remains onto the right path. That is why many a times to be with a live master, actually to be in the presence of the live master is very difficult. Later on, you can sing lots of songs of that master. But when the master is alive, very few disciples can remain around him because it's a fire. And around that fire, to sustain that fire and go through that fire, it's a real sadhana. But blessed are those who get so easily by just being in the presence and going through that tapas so joyously. That time, sometimes we feel that it's difficult, but we might have to go lives together, spend lives together to come to that state, whereas in the presence of the masters all those lifetimes are saved, and many lifetimes just get compressed and we get the grace of the masters. Understanding simply happens in their presence. And if you see Gurudev Yogiraj Amarjyoti ji, just to see him itself is a joy, you know. The love that oozes out in his every action. When the master is of that caliber, in every action you can learn from him. Just to see him is enough, the way everything is handled, because masters are rooted into that state of uh, ultimate. They are connected to the source and they are rooted into that. So any action that comes out carries that energy, carries that grace, carries that love. So when that is there, you simply enjoy looking at the master, seeing his every action, and every action teaches you how the life can be lived in simplicity yet gracefully. That's the beauty we see in the presence of the masters. So now we invite our dear Guruji to address us and celebrate the Guru Purnima the way our master wants it. So let us call upon dear Guruji to take over the proceedings.
Namaste to all of you, and very happy Guru Purnima to all of you. There are a few questions which have come during the registrations. I'll answer that. If any other questions are there arising in your mind, you can put it in chat box, and let us make it very interactive. But before I look into the questions, let me share few things on the occasion of Guru Purnima. There are quite a few misunderstandings about the word Guru, traditions and all. We are part of the tradition, the great tradition of Kriya Yoga. That is one branch that we represent, because all the knowledge has come from Sri Mahutar Babaji. I did not create the Kriyas. I'm not even capable of creating it. They've come. I'm just a waiter, you know, the food is cooked somewhere else and I'm just a waiter giving to the world. So we are the part of the great tradition. It's all a happening. It's downloading the knowledge, okay, and giving to the world. So the source of the knowledge is somewhere else. And the knowledge comes from the higher dimension. We call it as a Guru Tattva. So number one insight on Guru Purnima is Guru is not a persona. Persona means individual physical body. Because we normally misunderstand, you know, we see the Guru in the physical form and we relate to that. We should not do that. Let us understand why. Because I had been myself with many great gurus, Jiddu Krishnamurti, Sri Dada Gavan, Vimlatai Thakar, Osho Rajneesh, Pilot Baba. Some of them are even available today in the physical frame. Others have gone. Doesn't matter. When you connect, you should connect to the Guru Tattva, not getting attached to the physical frame of the Guru. That is the first insight that we need to understand on Guru Purnima. Why? What is the reason? Because any guru, okay, however great he may be, as long as the guru is in the physical body, human issues with the physical body will always be there with that person. And that's unavoidable. You see, Ramana Maharshi had cancer at the end, so also Ramakrishna, and they had their own issues. Jiddu Krishnamurti also had cancer. So death can happen, disease can come, physical body becomes old. All those aspects are normal characteristics of the body. But when a disciple relates to the master in the physical frame, he thinks of very superlative things about the master, which is absolutely not the case. The master's body and anybody else's body, the physical body has its own limitations, and those limitations will always be there, my dear friends. So if you connect to the physical frame of the master, and then in your mind you have got so many things, you will be disillusioned very soon that your master is as ordinary as anybody else, and so will be the case because master is in the physical body. Okay, so all the rules, regulations, law of gravity, law of karma, everything is applicable to the physical body of the master. Okay, that is why do not relate to the physical frame of the master. When you relate to the Guru Tattva within. That is the main point. You connect to the awareness of the master. That awareness is the Guru, not the physical frame. If you can do so, then you can save yourself from lots of troubles. Otherwise, you say, oh, myself, I was in awe and he's a great Guru. And once I met him and then I saw him, he was drinking tea every 2 hours. That's a physical habit of the Guru. You will be disillusioned. This can happen. Oh, he is having the food. Yeah. Guru also have body have hunger. He'll have food. He'll have tea. He'll sleep. Okay. So, physical body limitations will be there. That's why not to relate to the physical frame of the masters. Connect to the Guru Tattva. Okay. That is the first insight. Many people have asked, I have been initiated into Kriya Yoga in my childhood by some other Guru. And now I am stuck. I'm not learning. My Guru is no more. And it is said that you cannot be initiated by somebody else. Okay. This is a myth. I have myself been initiated by many Gurus. Okay. So again, when you are connecting to the physical frame of the master, you get stuck. Maybe master also dies, is not in the physical body, then what will you do? Will you not learn? Will you not grow? So learning from many masters is a part of the Rishi culture. Let me remind you the Rishi culture. If you go to one Rishi, he can teach you certain things. His expertise is in a certain field. Some basic things are taught in all the ashram, but some super speciality by one Guru. But if a disciple is interested in learning another super speciality thing, which is not with this Rishi, he will send that disciple to another Rishi from where he can learn. So he will go learn and then come back to the original ashram. So exchange of the students in the Rishi culture was something very common. So who says that you cannot learn from the many masters? I have myself learned from so many masters. My first love affair was Jiddu Krishnamurti at the age of 13. Fantastic experiences. Then I learned scriptures from Swami Chinmayananda. Then the great love affair with Osho Rajneesh, so many years. When he left the body, that is the time I met my master Sri Dadaghavan, who gave me a lot of time, cleared up all my doubts. Hand holding was done by him, and the journey got completed on 13 July 1993. And so much of gratitude for the Master Sri Dada Gavan, who really helped me a lot. But even when I was with my master, I used to go to Sri Ramesh Balsekar to listen to him. I was meeting Sri Ranjit Maharaj, another very great master. I met Pilot Baba and I was discussing what I'm learning, all these things, with my master Sri Dada Gavan. And he will even inquire, what did you learn? What was, how they're doing? What is the procedure? What is their tradition? Okay. So there is nothing wrong. See, some people have this misconception that you are stuck with one. No, you are not stuck with the one. Earlier days, people used to be very, very simple. So if you listen to many masters, you may get confused. So there's some kind of a tradition in earlier days, where you are connected to the one person, then you remain connected because that person takes care of you. There are no communication. There are no chances of meeting many masters. So that tradition came that you remain with the one. But that is not the part of the rishi culture. Rishi cultures mean going to different rishis, learning super speciality thing, and you still remain connected to your main ashram, your guru who is guiding you. So, my dear friends, in the modern world, where the technological things are there, Google Guru is the biggest guru ever. Anything that you want, you first Google it. So, Google Guru is the number one guru for everybody to find the information. But in this world, information cannot create the transformation. Okay, Google can give you information, but transformation cannot come. So for the transformation, for the flame of awareness to jump, you need the live guru. Or if you have done sadhana in your previous lifetime, you can get it on your own. There are many people who got it on his own. So if you come back to that concept that guru is a tattva and not a physical body, okay, then lots of misunderstandings will disappear. You connect to that guru tattva, and the best understanding on this Guru Purnima is that guru tattva is there in you also. Okay, so Guru Purnima means awakening that guru tattva within. What does it mean? Awakening that light of awareness within. That is the way to celebrate Guru Purnima. Everybody has to look within. Your guru is your breath first. Your real guru is your flame of awareness. That has to be awakened. If that is done, then the real Guru Purnima celebration happens. Why do we need a live guru? Let me tell you, without the blessings of my live guru Sri Dada Gavan, I don't think I would have been transformed. The transformation wouldn't have happened. I have read many books. Reading the books doesn't help beyond certain limit. You gather information, but that information does not create transformation. Secrets of transformation are somewhere else. Secrets of transformation are in systematic awareness development. So when you stay with the guru, when you learn systematically, then that awareness development happens and the guru tattva within is awakened, and that is the right way to celebrate Guru Purnima. Once that guru tattva is awakened, awareness is there inside, it has to be continuously maintained and live like an ordinary person. Your awareness does not go away when you come down and do the normal mundane routine things. That is the meaning of sustained enlightenment, getting rooted into that awareness, living life absolutely ordinary, doing normal things, but capable of managing that awareness, sustained awareness all the time. That is the real challenge for a spiritual seeker. Now in this modern era, you are bombarded with so many messages from so many different sources on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on social media. So many different social media sites are there. So that concept of one guru is impossible to maintain. And it is not the part of the Rishi culture. Okay, it came because some people were very simple, certain era, and they may would have got confused, and there was no technology. So maybe in certain era that was possible, but in the modern era it is almost impossible. Okay, so and that's perfectly fine. As I'm telling you that I myself learned from many masters at the same time. There is absolutely nothing wrong as you don't enter into the mind game of comparing the masters. That if you are doing, then you will end up in trouble. You see, each master is kind of a flower. A rose is a rose, a lotus is a lotus. You can't compare the lotus with the rose because each one is a different flower. Every master is unique in one's own way, has his own plus and minus of teachings, style. What is you must see is what are you looking forward to? What kind of breakthrough are you looking in your life at this point of time? What is it that is missing? What stage you are and what kind of breakthrough you want further for your progress? That is number one. That much you should know about yourself. Then you find out who are the people and where it is available, who can help you. Okay, different masters are doing different things. Who can help you? What is your tradition? What is your liking? What is your path? And then you meet that person, see the videos, see that you are able to tune to that person. Okay, if the clicking happen, if the tuning happens, then stay with that person, learn what you want, be grateful, and say bye bye. Next is maybe some other master will come and help you. This is perfectly the part of the tradition, and there is nothing wrong. People come, people go. You see, when we started Tao, Gudi Padwa, that was 8th April 1997, we started the Tao. If you see on the glass main door, I had a wonderful vision just before we started the Tao, and it came with so much of thrust that I actually made a drawing, gave it to the artist, and got those things engraved on the glass, which is still there in Tao. You can see the birds are coming and going. The very first vision was there that people will come to you, you teach them, and they will go. So as far as I'm concerned, our tradition is very simple. People come, they learn, and they go, and they grow in their own way, and they come back again for next lessons. So coming and going is part of the tradition. I was given a very special vision where, the broken bamboo was the symbol. People who are troubled in their life, people who are looking for love and compassion, people who have nobody to look, nobody to take care, nobody to guide. Okay, Babaji is guiding those kind of people to us, me and Guruma, and we are supposed to take care of those people where nobody else is there and bring them onto the path, get them into the tradition. Once they are independent, let them fly. That is the very vision given by Babaji to us, and that's how Tao Center is functioning, we are functioning. So people coming, people going, and growing. Every time they come, they learn, they grow. That's the whole process that we were given, and that's why we are here to help you. So if you understand and connect to the Guru Tattva, you will learn from many gurus. What is important is your growth. If you are growing, everything is fine. If you are not growing, then meeting 10 different gurus is of no use. So your focus should be on your growth and find out a person with whom you click, from whom you can learn systematically, and you can grow. You should not be wasting your time unnecessarily. Okay. If you don't click with certain philosophy, certain master, do not criticize, because every master is unique. When you criticize, you build bad karma. Just be grateful, say namaste, and walk out. Find out someone where you click No need to build bad karma. Okay, this is another very great insight, because many people don't understand and they build bad karma. People who are far ahead of us in PVF, who are vibrating at high level, they've reached the high levels in their own ways. Okay, we shall never ever criticize them, condemn them, because karma multiplies in proportion to the PVF. Okay, so be always grateful to them. Never get into the game of comparing one master against another one and all, unless otherwise you are doing the comparative study of the masters for your PhD, then it's a different matter. But otherwise, don't do such things. If you don't click, it's perfectly fine. Say namaste and walk out, but don't get into the karma building activity. You know, on Guru Purnima, in the morning, I saw some postings and all, not very good, interesting, because some people end up into building bad karma in doing so. World is passing through difficult phase because of the COVID-19 crisis. Even right now, lots of places lockdown is there. You know, today we got the news that so much of flooding is there in our ashram area also. Lots of troubles are there, you see, with the people. So many troubles are there right now on the planet Earth. What is more important is that we all grow in the dimension of love and compassion, and as a human being, understand each other's troubles and help each other. That is very much wanted. That is the way we can be human. That is the need of an hour on the planet Earth. So, my dear friends, wherever you click, whatever you like, if you are growing in the dimension of love and compassion, for sure you are on the path of progress. That is exactly what is wanted. All right, I will share few more insights and a small part of my own journey, which is very interesting and that can be of help to you. I'll come back to share. Right now, we will have one bhajan from Jayama. Over to Guruma for coordination.
Just now, Guruji said that you can learn from different masters. Now, whenever we get attracted to the master, why do we get attracted? We get attracted because something which is not there within us, we see it in that master, and that's how we get attracted. But when we go nearer to the master, the human mind is very, it always wants to play the games. The ego always wants to keep you into the game of life and death. It wants you to remain stuck there. That is why the moment you go nearer to the master, rather than seeing for what you had come to him, you start seeing what is not there in that master. And we lose the most vital point for which we get attracted to the master. And that vital point is that awareness that something higher up, larger than life, that we see in the master, because of which we get attracted to the master. So we, if we keep that focus right, we not only we have to search for the masters also search us and pull us. And even our own master, if we are supposed to learn something different, the master himself sends you. How our parents also want us to learn all different things and be successful in life, be well versed with everything and happy. The same way the masters also want all their disciples to learn different things, to be well versed with the whole creation, how this creation has come up. All this knowledge they want disciples to have. So the real thing that the master wants is, ultimately you should be coming out of the idea of bandhan and moksha. That is the ultimate state for which the masters are guiding all of us. And now Jayama is going to present a beautiful bhajan which expresses this concept so well. So it's all over to Jayama for her beautiful bhajan. Everybody waits for Jayama's bhajans. So Jayama, all over to you.
ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो, बंध मोक्ष की कल्पना मिटाई साधो, बंध मोक्ष की कल्पना मिटाई साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो। दृष्टा दर्शन दृष्टि त्रिपुटी से न्यारा हूँ, दृष्टा दर्शन दृष्टि त्रिपुटी से न्यारा हूँ, सब कुछ मैं ही करनिहारा हूँ, सब कुछ मैं ही करनिहारा हूँ, गुरु ने ये मत बताई साधो, गुरु ने ये मत बताई साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो। मैं तो आत्मा ब्रह्म बताया गुरु ने, मैं तो आत्मा ब्रह्म बताया गुरु ने, वेदां विच दा सार पिलाया गुरु ने, वेदां विच दा सार पिलाया गुरु ने, पीकर मैं तो हो गई हाँ निहाल मेरे साधो, पीकर मैं तो हो गई हाँ निहाल मेरे साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो। गुरु की संगत प्यारे अजब निराली है, गुरु की संगत प्यारे अजब निराली है, वो ही संगत पानी जिसमें अमरता पानी है, वो ही संगत करनी जिसमें अमरता पानी है, अलख निरंजन आप अविनाशी साधो, अलख निरंजन आप अविनाशी साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो, बंध मोक्ष की कल्पना मिटाई साधो, ये मति कहाँ से पाई साधो। गुरु की संगत इज द मेन थिंग, और जीता जागता गुरु की संगत तो वाह वाह।
Thank you, Jayama. It was so wonderful. Whenever Jayama sings something, a divine atmosphere gets created. So, all our love to Jayama. Keep singing, keep giving us all the knowledge through your beautiful bhajans. So now, those who are not understanding English, I mean Hindi, let me tell you, this whole bhajan beautifully explained that when we go to the master, master shows us that we are all the time caught into the trio of, even if we are meditating, we always think that I'm watching my thoughts, the thoughts are going on, I'm watching my thoughts, then I'm watching the gap. So the watcher, the process of watching, and the object being watched, that trio always remains. And as long as that trio is there, the ultimate reaching does not happen. So, how to disassociate from this trio and how this trio can get dissolved? This knowledge Master always gives us. And he always gives us a beautiful knowledge of all whatever is given in the Vedas, Upanishads, the whole knowledge of creation, Master is giving us. And when that ultimate knowledge comes to us, we get intoxicated by that knowledge. That knowledge is so intoxicating that you don't feel like going. If you have tasted a nectar, you don't feel like going for a sugar syrup. So that's what happens when we go nearer to the Master, that ultimate knowledge Master gives, and you become intoxicated, or फिर उसी मस्ती में you want to be in that joy all the time. And that is the real Master who ultimately leads you towards the immortality. Doesn't keep you caught into the world of mortality, doesn't keep you bound anytime. He just wants you to be liberated. He wants you to experience that ultimate freedom. That's what beautifully through Jayama's bhajan she sung it and expressed it. Thank you very much, Jayama. And it's over to Guruji for his further comments.
All right, so that was a fantastic bhajan by Jayama. Okay, now for the benefit of all the seekers on the occasion of Guru Purnima, something very special learning. Okay, that's very important. Otherwise, satsang has no meaning. Every satsang you attend, it should give you certain insights, and you should walk the path, and you should learn and grow. That is the whole purpose of satsang. So let me share one incident from my own life story with Sri Dada Gavan. So one day he asked me, what have you done? So I told I'm an engineer. I was a topper in the university. I had completed my Dale Carnegie Institute public speaking training. And I was doing my MBA and running the factory. We had already started the factory when I met my master. So as an industrialist. Then said, how different are you than others? I said, what do you mean? How different are you than other people? And I was that I did not understand. But can you please tell me how can I be different? I am like everybody else. So that is the point. Everybody is operating from the mind. You are also operating from the mind. So you are one among the masses. How are you different? You are seeking and searching. You want to meet God. You are interested in Buddhahood. So those are the words I had used with him, and he picked up my words and he said, "So, but how are you different?" And that was a difficult question. So I sat down, touched his feet, and I said, "Yes, I know, and that's the reason I'm here with you. I want to learn. I know you are different, but I don't know how you are different. Please guide me. Please help me." And he said that the whole world is having the disease of thinking. His Brahma Vakya that really touched my heart was, thinking is the disease of humanity. And he said, you are also suffering with that disease. You are thinking all the time. He was a great mind reader, and I had no way to prevent that. And I understood that, yes, I'm a thinking man. The word man comes from man. Mind and man have the same root. Manu, mana, manas, mano, manushya. They all come from the same root. जो सोचता है, जिसका मन है, वो मनुष्य. The one who is thinking is the normal human being. So that's the definition. Everybody is thinking. That's why you are manushya. So my dear friend, the spiritual journey is to go beyond that, to go beyond the mind. Okay. And he gave me that book, Beyond the Mind. So do you read this? You'll understand. I read, I did not understand anything. And then a lot of guidance came, a lot of question answer happened. Slowly, I understand that awareness development has to happen Action has to come from awareness, not from the dictate of the mind. The mind has to be low profile. The mind has to be like a slave. Awareness should be the master. Then sincerely you are growing on the path of spirituality. You are growing as a human being. Otherwise you are not. Now that was the wonderful insight that I would like to share with all of you on this wonderful occasion of Guru Purnima, that many spiritual seekers world over are doing a lot of time pass in the name of spirituality and not actually growing. Okay, this is just to help you and motivate you to understand and grow, because we don't have much time. Time is ticking. What do I mean? Are you growing in the state of awareness? Are you able to switch off your mind? Are your actions coming from awareness? Or are you like any other person who is having the disease of thinking? Overgrown mind, too much of thinking. That's a disease of humanity. So the spiritual seekers are those who come out of this disease of thinking and live life with awareness. That is the genuine spiritual growth. Now tell me, if this is the real growth, then how Google Guru can help you? Guru can give you information, but that will not bring about this transformation of developing your awareness. Okay. You see, many people are stuck into the preparatory stages of spirituality, and they think that is the only spirituality because some master told they have tremendous faith in the master, and the lifetime they continue doing the same thing. If you ask the question to a master, master will give some kind of a solution, spiritual solution. Okay, so that is just therapeutic in nature. Say, for example, somebody is worried, too much of worried. Many mothers are worried unnecessarily. It becomes a nature, all the time anxiety, worries are there. And the master gives a small mantra. You chant this mantra because that's 1 minus million technique. It will help you to calm down. It will help you to come out of worrying nature. But you see, if you are stuck with that mantra lifetime, and if you are not learning, if you are not growing in your awareness, then you are not a spiritual seeker. That master was compassionate, gave you a mantra because you are having a disease of worrying, anxiety. That doesn't mean that you get stuck there all the time. So, my dear friends, let's have right understanding that everybody has to learn and grow every day. On the ladder of awareness, where are you? Are you able to switch off your mind? Are your actions guided by awareness, or are you also having the disease of thinking and overthinking? That is the meditation, pondering, introspection, reflection, whatever you say you should do on the Guru Purnima, and walk the path of awakening of the Guru Tattva within. Means awakening of that awareness within. That is the real way to celebrate Guru Purnima. Once you do that, you strengthen your field, come down, do your normal work, and sustain that awareness. That is the way to sustain the enlightenment. So that Guru Tattva becomes permanent in you, and your very presence can influence people, sometimes without talking. Many times I went to my master Siddhartha Gavan, no talking. He'll be sitting there silently. I'll go there. I'll also sit silently for half an hour, 1 hour. I feel fresh, I feel very happy, and then say namaskar and bye bye. That's it. No talking. Because Guru is carrying that Guru Tattva all the time. If you go there, those vibrations rub onto you. If you stay into the presence of the master, you can experience the love of the master. It is so palpable. It's felt in the aura. Because master is operating from very high PVF. A common man who is not able to catch up the enlightened state of the master, but a common man can catch up the love of the master. Because if you are below 500 frequency, you will first experience love. That is the 500 frequency. 500, 540, 600 is the area of love and above frequency. When you go above 500 and you are touching around 700, then you will be able to catch the awareness of the master because you are into that frequency band. So common person will feel the love of the master, but a spiritual seeker who is growing in awareness will be able to catch the flame of awareness. When you catch the flame of awareness, your Guru Tattva within is awakened, and that is the real Guru Purnima. So Guru Purnima, everybody should learn to catch that flame of awareness, go deeper into that aspect, sustain that awareness, and that is the way you meet Guru within. So the real journey is inside. Everybody has to meet the Guru within by awakening of the Guru Tattva inside. Once you do that, then you will understand every Guru, every master, every scripture, every path, and you will be full of gratitude for that Guru Tattva. And in that Guru Tattva, all the Gurus become one, including yourself. You are also a Guru because you have that awareness. It's like the ocean. No matter from where you test the waters of the ocean, it will be the same test. Like that, anybody who has experienced the Atman, who has realized the self, who understands the consciousness, we are all one at the level of consciousness. If that oneness is experienced as a first-hand experience of yourself, and if you are able to come to that oneness instantly, every time, that is sustained enlightenment. When that happens, you start looking into your blind spots, you start looking into deep into your subconscious equations, your identifications, and really your life will start transforming in a big way. And you will walk the path from enlightenment to liberation, from Atma Vyapti to Shiv Vyapti. And there's a long journey after that. So lots of blind spots will be coming on the way. You will start breaking the blind spots, the energy will be released, and slowly you go to the higher levels of it. Once you are comfortable in your body and your body cells are vibrating at high level, you are able to sustain that if you are able to sustain yourself into that high vibrations, that is called living liberation, that is called moksha. Okay, so there's a question, is it possible to get moksha, freedom from ashtapashu, ashtabandhan of prakriti, and complete knowledge of three bodies in one lifetime? Absolutely, it is possible. Many masters it has happened, but it is not one lifetime. See, we are doing sadhana for many lifetimes. So in the last lifetime, in one lifetime, you think that it happened. No, it has not happened in one lifetime. There's a background of sadhana of many lifetimes. But yes, it does happen. Many people, it has happened in one lifetime also. See, how do you understand? There's a big rock and you have a hammer and you are hitting. First time, second time, third time, like 99 times you hit the hammer, but the stone has not broken. The 100th time you hit and the stone broke. Does it mean that only the 100th stroke broke the stone? No. It's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 100. All the strokes have created that effect of breaking the stone, but we feel that the stone broke with that 100th stroke. Okay. So enlightenment is also like that. So many masters, they work on you one after another, so many lifetimes, so many different types of sadhana. Slowly you grow. And in one lifetime, when the awakening happens, you see that, oh, this happened. Okay, but there's a long background of many lifetimes, so many blessings of so many masters, everything is functioning. But it is possible. Yes, everybody should feel happy about it, that yes, it is possible. So walk the path. That is the main point. Now, how is it possible? How do you shorten? How do you invite the grace? Very simple. The most important aspect on the spiritual journey is a practice of gratitude. Those who practice gratitude 24/7, they invite the grace. That's the secret. Gratitude invite the grace, and with the grace, awakening happens. Okay. Google Guru cannot contribute much to your awakening. The grace contributes to your awakening. Okay. So to invite the grace, what you can do from your side is practice gratitude, praise the Lord, praise Guru. Why Guru Gita chanting is important? Because all these scriptures are, scientific manuals. If you express gratitude, you invite the grace. With the grace, the breakthrough becomes possible. Okay. So the ultimate message of Guru Purnima is, why do we chant all the prayers all the time? Why do we end with the Shanti Path? Why do we praise the Lord? Why do we praise Guru? It is all about expressing our gratitude, being humble and simple, expressing gratitude that invite the grace. All right. So with this, these are the few insights from my side, and in the praise of the Lord, in the praise of the Guru, we listen to one nice bhajan. Over to Guru Ma.
So, as the question was that Ashtapashas, we are caught into these Ashtapashas, and that is why we go to Guru. That is Panchakosh, Ashtapasha. If we are caught into it, how to go out? Sant Kabir Das ji had beautifully sung in one of the dohas, Ye tan bish ki belri, Guru Amrut ki khan, शीस दिए जो मिले गुरु तो भी सस्ता जान कबीरा तो भी सस्ता जान. This body is full of malas, impurities, which we feel as poison. That doesn't allow us to grow. That keeps us thinking that I am caught into Ashtapashas. And that is why, and Master is the embodiment of nectar of immortality. That is why we get attracted to the Master. And then somebody asked Sant Kabir Das ji that if the God comes in front of you and if the Master is there, whom will you go to? So he, Guru Govind do khade Kake lagu pai. Guru and Govinda, that means the Master and the Lord. If both of them are standing in front of you, whom will you bow down to? He says, Balihari Guru Aapne Govind diyo batay Kabira Govind diyo batay. So if we go to the Master in the light of awareness, all the dimensions open up to us. That's the grace of the Master. That is why if somebody asks you, do you want to go to the Master or do you want to go to the Lord? Whom will you bow down to first? We just imagine what Lord could be, but Master is there in front of us and He takes us to anywhere in any dimension. And that is why further the singing of the praise is in a bhajan which Yogesh is going to present. Guru Meri Puja, Guru Govinda. Guru Mera Para Brahma, Guru Govinda. So I will invite Yogesh to present this beautiful bhajan which expresses this feeling so beautifully. So Yogesh, welcome to present your bhajan. It's all over to you.
Okay. Guru Ma, I'm audible properly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So my salutations to the lotus feet of Guruji and Guru Ma on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima. Bhakti, one of the easiest and simplest path of all four paths. And because it is easiest and simplest, it is mostly misunderstood by a complex mind. Luckily, Guruji has explained to us this in a very simple concept. We all know it's Panch Pakoda concept, it's 5 Pakoda concept. And we know Bhakti is the 5th pakoda. It's in very simple. Like, I can't find a simplistic answer to this than this 5 pakoda concept. Like, if you are pranwan, then you should go for dhyana. If you are dhyanwan, then you should go for jnana. And if you are jnanwan, then you should go for blooming your pragya. And once your pragya is bloom, then you can go for the celebration and bhakti. So if you are eating the 5th pakoda at the first place, obviously it will be misunderstood. So let's celebrate. चित बिठरावे तित ही बैठूं, अरे जो पहरावे सोई सोई पहरूं, अरे मेरी उनकी प्रीत पुरानी, बेचे तो बिक जाऊं, बेचे तो बिक जाऊं, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा, गुरु मेरा देव अलख अभेऊ, गुरु मेरा देव अलख अभेऊ, सर्व पूज्य चरण गुरु सेऊ, सर्व पूज्य चरण गुरु सेऊ, गुरु बिन अवर नहीं मैं ठाऊं, गुरु बिन अवर नहीं मैं ठाऊं, अन दिन जप हो गुरु गुरु नाऊ, अन दिन जप हो गुरु गुरु नाऊ, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, अंधकार में गुरु मंत्र उजारा, अंधकार में गुरु मंत्र उजारा, गुरु के संग सगल निस्तारा, गुरु के संग सगल निस्तारा, गुरु की शरण रहू कर जोरे, गुरु की शरण रहू कर जोरे, गुरु बिना मैं नाही हो रे, गुरु बिना मैं नाही हो रे, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरा ज्ञान गुरु हृदय ध्यान, गुरु मेरा ज्ञान, गुरु हृदय ध्यान, गुरु गोपाल पुरख भगवान, गुरु गोपाल पुरख भगवान, गुरु बहुत तारे भव पार, गुरु बहुत तारे भव पार, गुरु की सेवा यमते छुटकारे, गुरु की सेवा यमते छुटकारे, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु पूरा पाइए बड़ भागी, गुरु पूरा पाइए बड़ भागी, गुरु की सेवा दुख ना लागी, गुरु की सेवा दुख ना लागी, गुरु का शब्द न मेटे कोई, गुरु का शब्द न मेटे कोई, गुरु नानक नानक हर सोए, गुरु मेरी पूजा गुरु गोविंद, गुरु मेरा पार ब्रह्म, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु भगवंत, गुरु भगवंत.
Thank you, Yogesh.
Thank you.
Beautifully expressed the feelings which arise from within when you are really feeling indebted to Guru and nothing else remains, and you just feel that it's only love and gratitude which has remained in life. Very beautifully expressed through this bhajan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru.
So, whenever Guruji just now said that for lives together, many masters are working on us. And at one point, this enlightenment happens. Where does it happen? It happens in this body. The experience is experiencing that light into this mortal frame of body. That is why body is important. We say that even the devas yearn to have a human body, because only in this body the ultimate light can be experienced. That is what Guruji said, and that is what all the masters are going on teaching, going on explaining to the disciples. And while teaching to the disciples, if one disciple catches that flame and by the side of the master another lamp gets lit, and that also starts giving light to the whole world, you don't come to know whether this lamp has lit first or this lamp is lit first. Both the lamps give equal light to the whole world. When that happens, master feels extremely happy. How to come out of a Guru Runa? If that enlightenment has happened in presence of some other master, you always remain in gratitude to that master. Not only that, it has come to you so that it has to go further. That knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding has to go further so that others also experience this. And when one such disciple gets enlightened, you are out from Guru Runa. And that is what Guruji has experienced with this lovely soul, Anand Shivakavi. So he has written his own. Gurudev always says that अपने तिल का तेल निकालो, दूसरों के शब्द लेके कितने गाने वाले हो. So how long are you going to borrow somebody else's? Have your own creativity. Have your own creativity flowing through you. And when that happens, when ultimate experience happens, the creativity starts flowing. That's what has happened in Anand. So he has written a beautiful bhajan and he is going to sing it himself. So let us listen to this beautiful bhajan through his own voice. And here is the master. Both of them are so happy in each other's company, in each other's presence. So over to you, Anand.
This is a bhajan which also describes my journey with Guruji and Om Prem. आ गए जीवन में सद्गुरु, आ गए जीवन में सद्गुरु, जीवन कमल यूं खिल गया, खोज रहा जिसे जन्म जन्म से, वो मुझी में मिल गया। श्रवण हुआ जो गुरुवाणी का, श्रवण हुआ जो गुरुवाणी का, द्वंद मन का मिट गया, खोज रहा जिसे जन्म जन्म से, वो मुझी में मिल गया। प्रज्ञा दीप जगा कुछ ऐसा, प्रज्ञा दीप जगा कुछ ऐसा, माया का मल मिट गया, खोज रहा जिसे जन्म जन्म से, वो मुझी में मिल गया। मिट गई मेरी खुदाई, मिट गई मेरी खुदाई, बस खुदा ही रह गया, खोज रहा जिसे जन्म जन्म से, वो मुझी में मिल गया। गीत गाऊं सद्गुरु के, गीत गाऊं सद्गुरु के, भक्ति रस से भर गया, खोज रहा जिसे जन्म जन्म से, वो मुझी में मिल गया, वो मुझी में मिल गया। Thank you.
Beautiful, Anand. This boy is a South Indian boy. Never spoke Hindi when he came to Tao. And now he has started writing everything, the poems in Hindi. That's what happens when that inner creativity gets awakened. The language doesn't remain the barrier. Anything else doesn't become the barrier. It's only the inner creativity which straight starts flowing from the source. And that is why you all the time want to be in presence of that master. And Ranjit Maharaj always said a beautiful thing, why should you always remain connected to the master and bow down to the master? Anyway, the enlightenment happens in this very body. It doesn't happen anywhere else, right? So it has happened here. I can say that, it has happened here. Then why do I have to remain connected to the master? It hadn't happened for so many lifetimes. It happened now. When I was nearer to that flame, that flame jumped onto me. That is why if you remain connected to the master, you remain in humility and simplicity, you remain humble. The ego cannot come back. Otherwise, the ego can come back. It becomes very simple. You say, everything that is happening, good and bad, everything is because of Guru. So you are free all the time. Why to remain into the bondage of something good happens, I have done it, something bad happens, somebody else? No, whatever good and bad, everything at the lotus feet of the masters. That is what ultimately is. And that is why remaining connected to the master, remaining humble and simple, and in gratitude to the master. That is what the ultimate is. So Guruji wants to say something, so I'll just hand it over to Guruji.
All right. So last couple of minutes of this Guru Purnima function. There are many new members now who are coming online, and some of them I have not met personally. So every time we have an online meeting, I request people to keep your video on so that I can see you and we can connect. Okay? All masters are different. I love to connect with people heart to heart. And once our connection builds up, then whether we meet or we don't meet, still the learning will keep on happening in intuitive manner through astral travel, through online messages and all. But that connection has to be there. See, that's a very important aspect of understanding Guru Purnima. What is Guru Purnima? Any person in whom the Guru Tattva is awakened. That is the first thing. Second thing, you connect that person heart to heart. Okay. That's a very important aspect from your side. Then that Guru Tattva starts flowing towards you. And that's our way. You see, my ways are ways of love. Along with the Kriya Yoga, Babaji also gave Prem Marg. So, who will be able to click with me? Anybody who is able to connect heart to heart, that will be person will be able to click and learn a lot. And then learning is in 1,000 different ways. Okay, just learning keeps happening, and you will update your understanding. You will grow in awareness. Everything will happen. So that heart to heart connection is a very important aspect of my way of learning and teaching. Every master is unique. Every person is unique. You are also unique, but you have to click, and that clicking is through the heart to heart. That's number one. Number two, I wanted to announce is in on-prem Sangha, whatever technology we develop with the blessings of the masters, hundreds of flowers have started blooming. That's a unbelievable breakthrough that has happened in our Sangha. Hundreds of people have experienced enlightenment and they are growing, settling. So many flowers have bloomed. So we stumble upon this idea that now is the time to bring them out and put them in front of the Sangha, that there are so many. And as a scientist, myself and many of my scientific friends, we are doing experiment. We want to tell the world, see, there is a technology of enlightenment, and so many hundreds of people got enlightened through this methodology of awareness development. So I'm going to interview personally each and every flower who has bloomed in this garden of Babaji. And all those videos, the interview will be about 15 to 20 minutes. And all those videos will be uploaded one by one on the YouTube channel so that all the Sangha members can see and learn. Each interview will be unique because every person is unique. And that can be an inspiration and a guidance to other seekers on the path, and everybody can bloom. So I'll be inviting many of you for one-on-one interview online like this, no matter where you are. So, and that will be recorded. It will be about 15 to 20 minutes chat show kind of a thing, which is titled as Blooming Flowers. All the flowers who have bloomed in the garden of Babaji will be interviewed and posted on the YouTube. So I know there are many, and it will be quite a massive work to produce these videos and upload. So we are starting from the next week, and you will see that 15-20 days, the videos will start coming. You'll have one video coming to you every week. And I know this is going to go a very, very long way because we have so many people. So how many weeks, I don't know, because then many more masters are also getting ready. So it can go infinite because it's a live tradition. Many people are getting enlightened, so many unique people. Okay, so you'll be seeing the What a wonderful garden of Babaji is this, Om Prem Sangha. So many flowers have bloomed. Everybody is so very unique. Everybody is contributing to the Guru Karya in one's own way. And this is all about enriching life. Om Prem Sangha is a conscious community. Each member, if you are part of it, you have to live life consciously. That is the main point. Are you conscious? Are you aware? Are you grateful to Mother Earth? Are you operating from love and compassion? These are the benchmarks. These are the biomarkers for your own growth. And that is the way, and that is the final message of Guru Purnima. Thank you very much. Over to Guru.
In the court of King Vikramaditya, there were Dashapathis, Ek Pathi, Dvi Pathi, Tri Pathi, Chatur. So, the king had announced that whoever comes to my court and sings the original poem, that person will be rewarded. Now, anybody coming and presenting the original poem, this Ek Party will listen to it and will reproduce. So, oh, this is known. Dvipati will listen to it twice. Dvipati means the one who listens to it twice, reproduces it. So that's how everybody will catch that poem and everybody will start singing. So here in Babaji's garden, the lamps are going to lit that way. The flames are going to jump one after the other. All are the masters in making by the grace of Babaji. And all the masters are just ready. So all these videos are the inspirations, not the comparisons, not that somebody is ahead of me, somebody is behind. Oh no, it's the inspiration that how that flame jumped, now it will jump on anyone. And it's a game. So how we all are ready, it is called as titiksha, waiting for the beloved without any expectation. That beloved, that divine is wanting to dawn upon you. Are you ready? Are you enthusiastically, joyously waiting without any expectation? Without blaming that you're not coming to me? No, you are just waiting with joy. That is what this whole process is going to be. So all the flowers, all the buds are ready. In our ashram, when there is a silence, and if you go around in the morning, early morning, any bud opens, no, it makes a sound. Like that, the birds make sound and they open. It's a joy which is getting expressed that, oh, I have bloomed into a flower. So that is what is happening in Babaji's garden. All the masters, be ready to catch that flame, become the flower from the bud. That is what we all have come into this human body. And that is the ultimate masters are wanting us to experience. So once again, आप सभी को गुरु पूर्णिमा की हार्दिक शुभेच्छा है. बहुत मज़ा आया सबके साथ में. We all enjoy together. Let this joy continue. Let this journey of enjoyment continue by being with one another. And when that happens, the joy and bliss comes to us only for sharing with the whole world. You don't want to contain that. It cannot be contained also. It starts overflowing and it starts touching all the lives which come in contact with us. And then, through Shanti Path, you express this feeling and put it at the lotus feet of the masters, that how we have got the bliss and joy through your grace. Let everyone experience this joy and bliss all the time in their life. So let us chant Shanti Path. Wherever you are, chant it, so that these vibrations which are created by the grace of the masters, these vibrations will radiate around wherever you are. Om Sarvesham Swastirбhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनो, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let the grace of Babaji keep showering all the time on everyone, and let everyone get absorbed into that grace fully. Thank you.